Have you ever had that moment where you're absolutely convinced you saw something, only to realize a second later that your eyes totally tricked you? Maybe you've stared at a pattern on the wall and suddenly it started to move, or you've looked at a picture online and couldn't agree with your friends about what color it was. If your eyes ever played tricks on you, you're definitely not alone. In fact, it happens to all of us, and it's one of the most fascinating quirks of being human. Take for example the infamous dress that took the internet by storm. If you've ever found yourself in a heated debate about whether that dress was blue and black or white and gold, you know exactly what I mean. It's wild how something as simple as a photo can split people into two passionate camps, each absolutely sure they're right. But here's the thing. If you think you always see reality as it truly is, think again. Our eyes and brains are constantly working together to interpret the world, but sometimes they get it hilariously and even spectacularly wrong. You might trust your eyes, but the truth is, they're not always telling you the whole story. In fact, sometimes they're not even close. Our brains are like overzealous detectives, piecing together clues and filling in gaps, but sometimes they jump to the wrong conclusions. Welcome to the wacky, wonderful world of optical illusions, where nothing is quite what it seems. Here, up can look like down, straight lines can appear to bend, and colors can shift right before your eyes. It's a place where your senses get turned upside down, and your brain is left scrambling to make sense of it all. Let's go back to that viral dress for a second. Was it black and blue or white and gold? The answer actually depends on how your brain interprets the lighting in the photo. Some people's brains automatically subtract the bluish light, making the dress look white and gold, while others see it as it is, black and blue. It's a perfect example of how our brains can see the same thing in totally different ways. I'm genuinely curious, what did you see? Let me know in the comments. It's always fun to see how divided people can be over something so simple. Now check out this impossible triangle. At first glance, it looks like a perfectly normal shape, but the more you stare at it, the less sense it makes. Your brain tries to piece it together, but the angles just don't add up. It's like a puzzle that can't be solved, and yet your mind keeps trying. Our brains are wired to fill in the blanks, to make sense of chaos, and to find patterns, even when there aren't any. Sometimes this works out great and helps us navigate the world, but other times it leads to hilarious mistakes, like seeing faces in clouds or thinking your phone is vibrating when it's not. And it's not just optical illusions that mess with our minds. Magicians and street artists have been using these quirks of perception for centuries. They know exactly how to distract your attention, misdirect your gaze, and make you believe the impossible. Watch closely. One moment, that coin is right there in the magician's hand, and the next, it's vanished into thin air. Your eyes saw it, your brain registered it, but somehow it's gone. That's the power of perception and misperception in action. Here's what's really happening. Your eyes are taking in information, but your brain is the one making sense of it all. Sometimes your brain fills in gaps, ignores details, or even invents things that aren't there, just to create a complete picture. And here's the crazy part. Your brain is basically guessing what should be there, not what's actually there. It's like your mind is running a constant simulation, predicting what you're about to see based on past experiences, context, and even your mood. So, when you look at an illusion, your brain is working overtime, trying to make sense of something that just doesn't add up. Sometimes it gets it right, other times it gets hilariously, spectacularly wrong. That's why those moving dots seem to dance around the screen, or why two lines that are exactly the same length can look totally different. Your brain is using shortcuts, called heuristics, to process information quickly, but those shortcuts can lead you astray. Still with me? Don't blink, or you might miss the next trick. Optical illusions are like little puzzles for your brain, and the more you look, the more you realize just how easily you can be fooled. Artists and designers have been playing with these tricks for centuries, from ancient Greek temples that use optical illusions to look perfectly straight, to modern 3D chalk art that seems to leap off the sidewalk. Illusions are everywhere. They're not just fun, they're a window into how our minds work. Scientists study these illusions to learn more about the brain. By figuring out why we fall for certain tricks, they can uncover the secrets of perception, attention, and even consciousness itself. Every time you're fooled by an illusion, you're actually helping researchers understand the mysteries of the mind. And it's not just scientists who love illusions. Kids, families, and people all over the world share them for fun. They're a great way to challenge your brain, spark conversations, and even bring people together. Next time you see a cool illusion, share it with a friend and see if they see what you see. Some illusions have become famous all over the world. Take Rubens' vase. Do you see a vase or two faces? Or the spinning dancer, does she turn left or right? And don't even get me started on the checker shadow illusion, where two squares that look totally different are actually the same color. These classics never fail to blow people's minds. Remember those magic eye posters from the 90s? You'd stare and stare and suddenly, bam, a 3D image would pop out. It's all about relaxing your eyes and letting your brain do the work. Sometimes the harder you try, the less you see. But when you let go, the illusion appears. So, do you really see what I see? Or is your brain playing its own tricks on you? The next time you're sure about what you're seeing, remember, reality might be a little more slippery than you think. Drop your answers below. Did any of these illusions fool you? Smash that like button if your brain got bamboozled, and don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending fun. There's a whole world of illusions out there just waiting to mess with your mind. Stay curious and keep questioning what you see. Ready to have your mind twisted even more? Let's dive into a new batch of optical illusions that will leave you scratching your head and questioning your senses. First up, the cafe wall illusion. At first glance, the rows of tiles look like they're sloping in different directions, but if you take a closer look, you'll see they're actually perfectly parallel. Your brain gets confused by the alternating patterns and can't help but see slanting lines where there are none. Crazy, right? Now feast your eyes on the Cognition triangle. There's no triangle actually drawn here, but your brain automatically fills in the missing edges, making you see a solid white triangle that doesn't really exist. It's a perfect example of how our minds are wired to find shapes and patterns, even when they're only hinted at. Here's another mind bender, the lilac chaser illusion. Stare at the cross in the center, and you'll see a circle of lilac dots start to vanish, replaced by a single green dot that seems to chase around the circle. But here's the wild part. There's never a green dot at all. Your brain invents it because of the way your eyes process colors and movement. Try it out and see how long it takes before the magic happens. And don't forget the Mueller-Lyer illusion. Two lines of equal length are placed side by side, but because of the arrowheads at the ends, one looks much longer than the other. Your brain can't help but be fooled by the context. Even when you know the trick, it's almost impossible to unsee the illusion. These illusions aren't just fun, they show how your eyes and brain work together, sometimes in ways you'd never expect. The more you look, the more you realize, seeing isn't always believing. Which of these illusions tripped you up the most? Let us know in the comments, and if you want even more brain-bending challenges, stick around for the next chapter.